All right, we are broadcasting. So, InDesign CC. When you open it, it looks like this. All right, I'm going to give you a very, very brief overview of how it works, and then I'm going to pull up the wallflower template that I created and show you how that works. Okay, so this is the open screen for InDesign. We're going to create a new file. Click on that. I'm just going to go with letter size. The old yearbook format actually was letter size. The size of it was, the paper was like the same as a printer paper, like paper that you'd put in your printer. So we'll just use this as an example. We actually don't use this size for either the wallflower or the yearbook anymore. Click on that. Okay, so now you see a blank page. Kind of, you look at the proportions of it, it looks like a piece of computer paper. The edge of the page is where the white ends. Or, in this case, where you can, if you can see carefully, there's kind of a black line around here. This purple-pink line is a margin, right? So the page doesn't actually end here. The page goes beyond it, but this little margin kind of gives you a sense of ideally where to place your stuff. The margin can be adjusted. Well, don't worry too much about the margins right now. Around the page, you have what looks like a ruler. The measurement is something you're probably not familiar with. It's called picas, which is a common unit of measure for graphic designers. I'll put it to inches, just because you're probably a little more familiar with that. So you can see our page is 8.5 inches wide by 11 inches long. So it's exactly a piece of paper as you know it. The way InDesign works, it's a series of boxes. You make a box, you fill the box. So your tools are on your left, just like in Photoshop. So this is the type tool. We use this to make text boxes. I just drag this icon over here, click the mouse on the left, make a box. That's simple. You see it's flashing here. Technically, I could type in that box. You don't see it too well because I'm zoomed out, but I'll zoom in a little. You can see the text there. Technically, you can type in this box. Usually what you do is you copy and paste your text into it. Now, InDesign comes with a little tool called Fill with Placeholder Text. And the only point of this is just to create a graphic representation of what text would look like. Right? So let me just zoom out a little here. So it's just gibberish text. It doesn't mean anything, but it allows me to say, okay, I've got a text box that looks like this. I can move my box around, see how that looks. Maybe I'll create another text box above it. And this one, I'll just type some stuff in. Now I'm going to make a headline with this. I'm going to change my font from Minion Pro to, I'll go with Arial, black. Let's make it larger, 36 points. Well, let's go more. Now I've got a headline. Can adjust this box so the headline sits nicely over top my text. Maybe I want to give this headline a color. Let's go with blue. And there you go. So you can do pretty much anything you can think of you can do. It won't tell you where to put stuff. You just put stuff where you want it. You want this headline to go here? Great. Text box to go here? Great. You want your text box to have multiple columns? You can do that. Should be able to. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Columns, where do they have those? I think I'm going to have to look for this. The interface is a little different than what I recall. But let's say I want to make the first letter really big. I can do that. Let's say I want to color that first letter again. Let's go with pink. There we go. So all kinds of neat stuff. The next kind of box you make are picture boxes. It looks like it's this rectangle with an X through it. Same idea. You draw your box, and you put your picture in. To do that, I go File, Place, right here. Place, and it's going to open up the network. So I'll go into the FY folder. Let's see. Do I have some photos from? Have any photos? Any recent photos? I'll take some photos from last year. Or 2 years ago. This is Relay for Life Coffee House. Click open. The picture will appear in the box. Now, it's always going to appear at full size. So see how you can't really see anything here? It's because the picture is running at 100% of its size, but the box just can't fit that. The box is too small. The picture right now actually is, see this yellow line around here? That's how big the picture is right now. It's massive. I'm going to shrink it down and right click. I'm going to go fitting. I'm going to fill frame proportionally. Now my picture is fitting nicely in there. I can look at it, say, okay, I got a picture here. I'm going to click on this little target in the middle. I can shuffle the picture around a little bit. I got some sort of rule of thirds going on here. I'm going to shrink the frame. I'm going to move this picture up here like this. Oh, maybe I'm going to make my headline a little longer. It's no longer all blue. There we go. That's basically what you do with InDesign. It's all about making boxes and filling it with text and filling it with photos. That's the basic functionality of InDesign. And you shuffle stuff around and you shuffle and shuffle. And then when you're happy with the way things look, you're done. That is the very, very basic functionality of this program. Now, the template that you're going to be working with, I'll show you where it's located. You go into our FY folder, and I know some of you still don't have access to the FY folder. Somebody else could sign you into your computer, and that'll do the trick. FY Wallflower. Right at the bottom here it says Wallflower Template 2017. Now I made it in a slightly different version, so it opened up quickly enough. This is what, if you look at the dimensions of this sheet of paper, it's similar to a computer screen. It's not exactly a wide angle computer screen, but it's a 4:3 ratio screen that is 4 parts long, 3 parts tall. So it's fairly close to most computer screens. Some computer screens are obviously longer than that. It'll still work on those. The template, and actually I think the template's been stripped away here. So I'm going to rebuild this template for you. But what you're going to find on it will be a big text box like this, where you can import your text. And it should have columns. This is strange. So I don't know why this was all removed from last year. Let's just see if I can find the columns tool here. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to adjust this thing for you guys a little bit because it doesn't look like it's ready. And this is a new version of InDesign. I'm not quite used to it. So anyway, I apologize. I don't have the template ready just now. I'll get it ready in about 10 minutes. But basically, you're going to call up this template. You're going to drop your text into it. You'll drop your picture into it. All the boxes you need will be there. Drop your headline into it, and then just format. Okay, that's it. Your work, when you save it, you may not be done with it in one class. You go File, Save As. And then go back to the X drive, FY Wallflower. You should have made a folder for yourself in here. And you go save your work. So I'll just put this in tests for now. Let's say this is something about students. And I'm going to say it's for October. There you go. And now you've got your work saved. Always save your work in the FY folder. The moment you have access to the FY folder, that's where your work goes. Okay? So again, I apologize for not having this template working, but I'll get it up very soon. Okay? So that's the class. If you need to see me, if you need to take pictures or something like that, we can talk. So I'm just going to turn off this broadcast.